It is a night to remember for the side in red, as it is the first men's volleyball code red matchup for this program. Hello and welcome everybody in Turner Gymnasium at the University of Lynchburg for this exciting NCAA Division III volleyball matchup between the Lynchburg Hornets and the Randolph Wildcats. My name is Ethan Morotsky and I am very excited to bring you this fantastic ODAC volleyball matchup. The Hornets come into this match with a 9-set victory streak and look to extend that to their cross-town rival Wildcats. On the flip side, the Wildcats are looking to snap a 2-game skid. I mentioned earlier that this is a code red game for the Hornets, and if you know anything about Lynchburg sports, you know how tough it is to play at a code red game if you are the away team. So look forward to how the Wildcats will respond. As you see, the starters for the Lynchburg Hornets are being called out right now. A couple people in the crowd, they're going to start filing in soon. Mostly sports teams at the moment. You can see everything. Down here. We've got soccer from women's and men's side. We see field hockey, volleyball. They're all starting to file in. And with that being said, there is also some added pressure for both teams, as this is a massive rivalry in any sport when it comes to Lynchburg and Randolph, and they're going to want all the bragging rights coming out of this one. And with that being said, let's head to the pregame stats and see what separates the two teams. When you look at it right now, everything pretty even. Randolph averaging 10 kills per set. Lynchburg right underneath them at 9.6. Both these teams, very new programs, as this is their first year in program history. We see Randolph with a 6-9 record. Lynchburg a little bit ahead of them with a 7-7 record. But Randolph does have that slight edge on them when it comes to the conference standings. While we hear in the background the Lynchburg starters being called out, let's hear it. We've got Jeremiah Costello, Miller Varley, Mason Kenna, Nick Redding, Stefan Kapitanov, and Bryce Jackson. And on the Randolph side, you go over to Connor Maher, Elijah Woods, Ahmed Diallo, Shamal Smith, Zachary Septov, and Matt's Bainchess. We're going to start off with some players to watch, and you see right there, Matt's Bainchess, he is an absolute stud on the court, and it's definitely somebody that the scouting report for Coach Ryan Turner definitely has him on their scouting report. So look at, he leads the team in kills with 131 and digs with 107. Now, I was looking at the statistics for Bainchess. Not only does he lead the team in kills, he's absolutely dominating by over 20. I mean, that's unbelievable. With a new program, it's really exciting to have a player like that as a coaching staff. And if we head over to the Lynchburg side, somebody that I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on is easily Nick Redding, number 18, the freshman from San Diego, California. First Defensive Player of the Week in program history, and hopefully not the last for his career, and hopefully not the last for any Lynchburg Hornets career. And we look at the last match against Regent, where they did sweep 3-0. Redding had 11 kills, 4 blocks, and 7 digs. Definitely dominated on the court. But of course, we have players to watch, but really we're looking at everybody on this court, as both these teams, like we've said, and I'll say it again a ton tonight, brand new programs. This is their inaugural seasons, both not doing too bad, about a little under even for Randolph, with a dead even 7-7 record for the Hornets. It just makes every single game that much more exciting. It really, as you can see, some of the fans there getting hyped for this code red matchup. And like I said earlier, if you know anything about Lynchburg sports, code red, there's some of the most exciting games that you can go to. Obviously, you've got your playoff games, which are easily the most exciting, but code red, it gets loud in here. And I was talking to Coach Ryan Turner, and they said one of their main focus points is going to be that it's going to be loud in here, as Lynchburg's starting off with a bang, trying to start off this entire game. And there it is right there, a nice tip over for the Hornets. Miller Varley freshman from Bayport, New York, starting Lynchburg off, and you can hear it is unbelievably loud in here, and the stands aren't even packed yet, and we know it's going to get like that later. Randolph, a little bit of a mishit, going to send it Lynchburg's way. And it's going to go down as do a Lynchburg point. There he is, Nick Redding, our player to watch. An absolute stud on both ends of the court, defense and offense. Lynchburg take a 2-0 lead. But going back to the noise, they said one of the keys from Coach Ryan Turner was that the gym is going to be loud. And this is volleyball. You got to communicate, and you got to be able to trust your teammates when you don't have that communication. Randolph Elijah Wood's going to send this one over. A nice steamful serve that one was. They're going to send it over to Lynchburg's side. It's going to be a Lynchburg point, a massive hit for Costello. Jeremiah Costello, the freshman outside hitter from Chesterfield, Virginia, is going to send this one right after getting that point for Lynchburg. And that one's going to be in. A perfect serve right into the corner. We heard a couple Randolph players on the bench saying out, maybe a little bit of the coaching staff. And that's really where it comes down to the trust in this game. There's no one when to lean on your teammates on their judgment calls. As Costello sends this one into the net. And it's going to be a serving error for Costello right after a beautiful ace. Errors are really going to be the focal point for this Lynchburg offense and defense. These minor mistakes that they're making, obviously they're going to happen in every single game. As Kapitanov smashes one down right into no man's land. The amount of power that he put on that shot. Number 20 from Midlothian, Virginia. And if you can't hear it or see it, right in front of me at the bottom of the stands, it looks like you have about 90, maybe 95% of this soccer team, the men's soccer team. And if you didn't know, Kapitanov is a goalie for that men's soccer team, as Randolph's going to send this one and cut down the momentum. But Kapitanov, he's a stud athlete on both ends of the court and on the men's soccer team. You know he's an athlete, loves jumping around. Randolph going to send this one over. Lynchburg tries to send that cross court. It's going back to Lynchburg's side, and a massive block by Zachary Septoff. Read that one all the way. The dig from the Randolph side went all the way back to the Hornets' end of the court. And Varley tried to send that one back, as that ace is going to go a little too far, as the chanting from the Wildcats will still continue. And that's really what it's all about with volleyball. Every single game that I've watched, whether it's Lynchburg or Division I or the Olympics, it's really all about that teamwork. As Lynchburg, nice little block, sending it back towards the Wildcat side as they take a 3-point lead in set number 1. Going back to that teamwork, it's all about keeping that momentum, knowing where your players are, and knowing when you can trust them. As a quick little send over by Randolph gives a reset for Lynchburg, and Lynchburg is going to be blocked, but it's going to go out of bounds. Lynchburg doubling the scoreline of the Wildcats. As Redding going to send this one over, our player to watch, the reigning defensive player of the week. And that one going to be blocked by Lynchburg. The hype is there for Bryce Jackson, sophomore from Stallings, North Carolina. The crowd's going wild. And it's going to be like that all night for this Lynchburg squad. It's almost like when you're a visiting squad coming in to a Code Red game, it's almost like you're not just playing against the team that's on the court or the field, but you're playing everybody around you. You know you're gonna get some heckling. You're gonna get some screams in your ears. That one's sent too far. you're going to get some screams in your ears. You got to be able to block that out, and that's really where the good teams, that's really where they're going to prove themselves. It's not an easy atmosphere to play in. Lynchburg sending this one over, a really nice serve. That one's going to hit the rafters. We'll talk about that. That's another important effect that you have when you come into Wayne Prophet Court, into Turner Gymnasium. And the rafters not too high. You know, any rally, the ball can go up there, rattle around a couple times, and change everything that you do. As it heads up there again, rattle around a couple times, and that's what we're talking about, is they're gonna have to send this one over to Lynchburg's side, and it gets the top of the net. A little bit of a break for the Wildcats. And I'm sure they're gonna take it. And we're gonna see a substitute, number 99, Blaine Richardson for the Wildcats. Looking at the Wildcats roster, you've got every single player as first years except for two. You got Ethan Mayer, the senior from Midlothian, Virginia. And you've got Nats Bainchess, our player to watch, the grad student. And I know I'm gonna mess this up, but the grad student from Beverwijk, Netherlands. Talk about the diversity. We always talk about it at the Lynchburg side with the field hockey team, a ton of players from the Netherlands. Got a couple players from Great Britain. But it's always nice to see diversity from every school in the ODAC. And there it is, the rafters coming into play. The roof not very high here. And we're gonna get a timeout from Randolph. The Lynchburg Hornets come out of the gates hot. They lead 13-6, a 7-point deficit for the Randolph Wildcats. And we will be back soon on LHSN.
If I'm walking around over on the crowd side, I always hear someone yelling, "Hey Nat, take our picture. Hey Nat, get this," or something, or "Hey Nat, you got that shot?" Like, so I'm always like trying to photograph the crowds and my friends calling my name. I think sports at Lynchburg unifies us as a whole. No matter what background we come from, what differences we have, and what experience we've experienced through our lives, it brings us all together and we have one goal, which is to win. As a photographer, I definitely get to capture the emotion.
Set number one, a little under halfway. Lynchburg up 13-6 over Randolph. The crosstown rivalry has commenced for the first time in program history as that one hit right into the net. And just a fantastic way to come out of the timeout if you're the Hornets. Obviously, timeouts are a way to slow the game down for the opposing team. If you're a football fan, you would say that it's really all about icing the other team and stopping the momentum. Is a really nice serve. A great job from Randolph, from Connor Marr, to be able to keep that one alive as he runs in to the metal pole in between the steps of the stands. He's not giving up, but unfortunately that point is going to go towards Lynchburg's way. Lynchburg up 9 in the first set. They started off really hot coming out of the gates, and they haven't looked back once. Really nice serve hitting the rafters, quickly coming down. As it's going to be a full reset for the Hornets. And it got a touch from one of the Wildcats. And it's going to be point Lynchburg, as you hear. I'm sure you can hear from our lovely PA, Joe Brennan. Always has a blast. As we see number 18, Aiden Kranz, coming in for the Wildcats. Lynchburg with a 10-point lead in this first set. As Bryce Jackson going to send this one towards the Wildcats. Keeping it alive is Randolph. And a nice rally so far. And a nice hit from Nick Redding. And we'll say it again, Defensive Player of the Week, Nick Redding. A little bit of miscommunication from Randolph's side. It looked like they could have gotten that one. But a little miscommunication in the back corner, and it's going to be Lynchburg point, 11-point lead for the Hornets, as Jackson going to send this one over again. We know he's very, very good at serving. Loves doing it too. He always finds himself at the serving line. And a nice block by Kapitanov. Lynchburg extend this run. And they're up by 12 in the first set. Almost to that 20 mark. Jackson still at the serving line. Sends it across. Referee gonna say it didn't catch the line. Very, very close. I have to agree with her. It does get pixel perfect in here sometimes. And that's the beauty of having replay here at LHSN. We got a great crew tonight. A full crew. As that one is blocked by the Wildcats. Shamel Smith goes by Mello. Beautiful block. Definitely somebody that is on the scouting report for the Hornets. Is a high flyer for this Wildcat squad. Is that one? Wildcat pleading that was in, but it's going to go point Hornets. As you can really hear that communication stepping in, whether it's towards the refs or towards a teammate. There is a lot of communication that goes on here. It's a really nice serve. Just a struggle to keep it up for the Wildcats. And Lynchburg sends it over, hits the rafters again. That one goes too far. Ahmed Diallo sends it past the line. Lynchburg at that 20 mark now, up by 12 in the first set. A lot of work to do if you're the Wildcats, but it is possible. It is always possible in volleyball. As that one is sent towards the Lynchburg side, dug up, but into the stands. And for the Wildcats, you need momentum, and you need it now. Lynchburg 20, Randolph 9. Nice strong hit. Good job to keep it alive, but the second hit is not there for Randolph. Beautiful effort by Elijah Woods, but not enough. And any momentum that Randolph has stopped for the Lynchburg side is just kept alive by somebody who steps up on the Hornets. And we're going to be blocked and out of bounds on the Lynchburg side, and that's going to be point Randolph. So Randolph down by 11. They have one timeout left. You gotta find a way to get other players to step up and find a way to gain some momentum. That was a nice dig by Aiden Kranz, but too rough of a hit on the Hornets end. The Hornets inch closer and closer to a set one victory, 22-10 in favor of Lynchburg. As Heath Atkins gonna send this one over and hits the middle of the net and stays on his side. Cuts the lead down to 11. You know, serving can be a struggle. And that's really what it's all about for Coach Ryan Turner. He's got to win the serving and the passing battle. We know both teams have a lot of talent, a lot of young talent. That one too far, as the referee in the far corner says that it will not stay in bounds. And again, I'll agree with her. It's going to be a 10-point deficit for the Wildcats. And a beautiful setup, beautiful spike, and an even better dig. As Lynchburg going to try again. And there he is, Nick Redding. Beautiful, beautiful kill into no man's land. He knew exactly where he wanted that. And put it right in the middle of every single Wildcat. As he'll send this one over. It's gonna make the Raptors come down quickly. And Mason Kenna trying to keep that one alive. But will fall short. Lynchburg gonna send this over. Samuel Looney, the libero, can't hang on to that. And it will be a timeout for Randolph and a set point for the Hornets. As we will be right back on LHSN to see who was going to win set number 1 in Turner Gymnasium.
Get your career in the game by enrolling in the University of Lynchburg MBA program with an emphasis in sport management. This program opens the doors to new possibilities for a variety of careers, from being an athletic director or working in athletic administration to working for professional organizations, your favorite team, to running a local Parks and Rec department. And employers are increasingly requesting and preferring individuals who have postgraduate education, specifically looking for an MBA. And so the University of Lynchburg Sport Management concentration in the MBA program sets you up for success, and it sets you apart from the many other people looking for jobs in the industry. Learn from winners. Here you will learn from professors
And we are back, and it is loud. The music is turned up as we spot Coach Ryan Turner, our fearless leader here on Wayne Prophet Court today. And there's Nick Redding. You can also argue that he is another fearless leader on this team. It's a young team, young program, first year. And we're going to say that all season. And you're really trying to find out who your leaders are every single game. As there he is, Nick Redding gets this set point. Lynchburg's the first to reach 25. And set 1 will go towards the way of the Hornets. And a perfect way to start Code Red Night, as dancing has commenced between everybody, no matter what team, what sport you're playing for. 1-0 Lynchburg Hornets are up here in Turner Gymnasium on your fantastic Code Red Night here on LHSN.
A single thread is unique. Like each of us, full of purpose and potential. A strand designed to connect, strengthen, and unite. But we face different challenges and have different opportunities. By acknowledging that others may struggle in ways we do not, we can celebrate our differences, embrace each other, and fortify the ties among us. A single thread can fray, yet when it's woven with another, a bond forms. A new strength created by the fabric of the whole. Let's embrace the fabric we make together, the diversity of our threads, to reach beyond ourselves and overcome the impossible. The true power of our game comes from unifying our individual backgrounds, connecting our unique stories, enabling us to be stronger, braver, greater. We can achieve so much more when we are all as one.
What a season. The confetti is going to fall.
There she goes, and she's got it. How sweet is this, and how wonderful for the sport.
1-0 here on Wayne Profit Court in favor of the Hornets, and there he is, Coach Ryan Turner. Teams have switched sides. And I'll say again, our fearless leader, this is his first season as the head coach for the Hornets. Obviously, it's the inaugural season, but we're still going to put that up there. And he's also the assistant women's volleyball coach. You see right there on your screen. And I've had a couple opportunities to have some conversations with him while he was playing Mario Kart Double Dash. And he's an awesome guy. I mean, I could have a conversation with him over and over again, whether it's about the same thing or anything. And you flip it over to the other side, you got Coach Jordan Leandro. This is also his first season, again, inaugural season for the Wildcats. He did play volleyball at Grove City College and did a fantastic job there playing for their club team. Brought them to 5th in the nation playing for them, and first coach for the Wildcats, as we see him right there. Fearless leader is an understatement for both of these coaches, as obviously it is the first season as head coach for both of them, as set number 2 commences. But it's not easy, as Kapitanov sends that one over. He didn't necessarily need all the power in the world for that one, but you know, going back to the coaches, it's the first year with both these programs. Both have experience in the coaching field. Obviously, they played, as Randolph going to send it right back and tie it up at 1. But it's tough. You got to do all the recruiting, and it's tough to get recruiting going at a new school. You don't really have much to drive off of, or your persuading points, but sometimes that can help you. As it's 1-1 starting the second set. Randolph going to send this over, poked over by Redding. Randolph going to be blocked, but it's going to go out of bounds, and Randolph takes their first lead of the second set. Elijah Woods send this over. Nice job there from Mason Kenna. Sending it right back at him, tying it up at 2. We're gonna see Jeremiah Costello head back. Send this one over to the Wildcats. You got the Lynchburg bench clapping. Costello, 2 kills so far, along with 2 aces. As that was a close one. Looked like it might have gotten a little contact with the line, but our amazing referee staff today will agree with them and say that they're doing a fantastic job so far. As the point will go towards the Wildcats. And Redding gonna send that one into the net. Randolph trying to get a little bit of a run going. They're up by 2 in this second set. Lynchburg leading 1-0. Brand new programs for both of these squads. Very young programs with a couple of upperclassmen. We talked about how Randolph has 2, a senior and a grad student. As Costello sends that one, pokes it over. Wildcats have another opportunity, and it's going to be blocked by Kapitanov as he sits in the stairs. Cuts that lead down. He's going to get subbed out for Heath Adkins. Adkins at the serving line. Does have 1 serving error already. He's going to give them a shot to tie it up here. As that serve is good, blocked. But Mason Kenna can't keep it up. The Wildcats jumping around. Keeping that energy up. Obviously lost set 1 by a decent margin, but that's not stopping them from keeping the energy. A really nice serve from the Wildcats, and that one is going to fall. And it's a dogfight out there. Both teams going back and forth, and that's what you really love to see if you're a volleyball fan. And if you're a Hornet or Wildcat fan. We know there's a lot here at the Turner Gymnasium, as Randolph is just a couple minutes down the road. So that one is going to be softly sent over. Redding calling for that, but can't get under it enough. And it's going to go back to the Wildcat side. Like we said, dogfight, you love to see it. Whether you're a volleyball fan or any sports fan, you know close games are really what you watch LHSN for. As Redding making up for his earlier mistake and sending some power behind that one. Cutting the lead back down to 1 again. Some clapping going on the Hornets side. A high serve. A really nice job from Randolph. Keeps that one in, and nobody home on the Hornets side. Back and forth for both these teams. Randolph has to find a way to where they can stay on a run and get a couple points before they give it back to the Hornets. And the Hornets got to find a way to go on the run themselves. And there he is, Jeremiah Costello, the high-flying freshman from Chesterfield, Virginia, as Kapitanov finds his way back up in front of the net, as Bryce Jackson's going to be at the serving line. He was back there a lot in the first set. And obviously, if you're the one doing the serving and you're doing it a lot, it means your team's scoring points. As Lynchburg going to finally be able to tie it up, maybe get a lead change here in the second set, 7-7. It's mainly been in favor of the Wildcats. Lynchburg trying to change the name of this set and get themselves a lead. A really nice serve there from Jackson. That one going to be dug up into the stands as the Wildcats snuff out any bit of momentum and any bit of whispers of a lead change. As you can see, their bench full of first years, along with the Lynchburg Hornets amount of first years, and a really nice job. Miller Varley read that one all the way. The dig came out from the Hornet side, went right to Randolph. And a kill attempt goes awry and will be point Lynchburg. But the Wildcats just going to send this one over to Lynchburg. And hits Mello, number 12 Mello, in the face. We can see there's some dusting up to do after that play. And that's a risk that all these players are willing to take. As Varley sends this one into the net for a serving error. But that's a risk that every player is willing to take on both squads. You know, with the power and the velocity that you're going to get on these balls, eventually you're going to have to take some physical pain. Because it looked like it might have touched that pole that's coming out of the net. But it's eventually going to go Lynchburg's way, and a lead change will finally happen for the Hornets. They've been fighting at it all second set so far. As Costello going to send this one over. We're still getting Hornet fans slowly filing in here as some practices for the spring teams are fading for the night. As we see softball step into the room. A couple of those players. Again, we've seen plenty of the men's and women's soccer teams here. See some field hockey, some volleyball, some women's volleyball. You know, we talk about women's volleyball. We do have Landon Spots working a camera for us today. She's a little new this semester, but she's done a fantastic job. Every time that I've directed a game, she's done a great job. As we're gonna get a foot touching the line on that serve. And it'll be point Lynchburg. As heard from our PA, Joe Brennan. And it's gonna be tied up at 11. As Heath Atkins gonna be at the serving line again. As there he is, Joe Brennan. He's the man. Absolutely fantastic at everything he does here at LHSN. As that one gonna be blocked right down onto the Lynchburg side, and the Wildcats gonna retake a lead again. Second set, Lynchburg up 1-0 on sets so far tonight. This is a lot closer than it was on the first go-around. As in the first set, Lynchburg came out the gates firing and never looked back. They're trying to find every bit of momentum so far in this one. And these are really the sets that you love to see. I harped on it earlier. You know, these close games, especially in code red matchups, you obviously love a blowout if you're a Hornet fan. But you love the closer games. It allows you to stand up, do all that dancing, keeps the energy up in the gym or out on the field, no matter where your code red game is. The energy will always be there. And like we said earlier, crosstown rivalry. As Mason Kenna sends this one towards the Wildcats side into no man's land and ties it back up at 13. The dogfight continues. But like we said earlier, not just a code red game. That's not what's just putting the pressure on both these teams. But it is a crosstown rivalry. That one stays up into the rafters a little bit. A nice soft hit towards the Wildcats side. As Mello gonna send that one over, keep that one alive. And poked back to the Lynchburg side. And there it is. What a rally for both these teams. And a finish from Randolph. One of the longer rallies of the night goes Randolph's way. And they keep this lead at 14-13. A really nice job from Bainchest there to keep that one alive. And an even better job from Varley. You don't need the most velocity in the world for some of your shots. The dynamic that this team has and that these players have to be able to have the ability to make all kinds of shots, as Jackson sends that one too far. Here's some chants coming from the Wildcat side, keeping the energy up. And that's something that I have found to be very important in every single sport that I've had the privilege to be a part of here at LHSN, is that the energy is so important, whether you're winning by 20 or winning by 5 or losing by 20 and losing by 5. Keeping that energy is so important. Lynchburg gonna take the lead after that ace by Varley at 16-15 here in set 2. Lynchburg up 1-0 on sets as that one is sent too far. Lynchburg gonna extend their lead to 2, trying to go on a run here, as it is getting to be crunch time in this second set. 17-15 in favor of the Hornets. And a nice job from Costello as the initial dig from the Wildcats goes right towards Costello's direction, and his eyes lit up. There was anything Randolph could do, as a timeout is called by Randolph. Lynchburg extend their lead to 3. It is 18-15 in set 2. Lynchburg up 1-0 here on LHSN. It is a beautiful Code Red night here in Lynchburg. The weather is slowly getting better as we inch closer and closer to March. As we see Ava Meinhardt, star on that women's volleyball team, doing her part here on Code Red Wednesday night. That one hits the rafters and shoots down. And a great point coming out of that timeout for Randolph. Perfect job there. 18-16 in favor of the Hornets. 1-0 in favor of the Hornets on set count. Set 2 coming down to the wire, a lot closer than the first set. A great job keeping that one alive by Varley. And they're gonna say that was in. Very close call there by the referees. Whatever they say goes. And they say point Wildcats. Even more teams and students filing in for Code Red. Majority wearing that red color. The sea of red is something it's a pleasure to see in Turner Gymnasium, or whether you're out there at Schellenberger Field and you're looking on the other side of the track and you see the sea of red out there, as that point's going to go towards the Wildcats. Costello couldn't handle that one. And the lead is cut down to 1. Hornets trying to do whatever they can to inch closer and closer to that 25 mark. That one dug up into the rafters, shoots back down once again. That's the environment that you have to take into account. Even if you're the home team, you know it's there and you know it can give you problems. Stella with a nice dig. And Redding sends it right into the Wildcats, but goes too far outside. Lynchburg is the first to reach 20. As Adkins steps in, we get a replay of that. Fantastic job by our director, Josh Smith, today. Always a pleasure working with him and everybody here at LHSN. As you might catch a glimpse of my man Brian Flowers at the top right of your screen working camera. Yeah, Christian, JP, landing spots, like I said earlier. It's a fantastic crew that we have here. As Randolph's gonna tie it at 20. Like I said, coming down to crunch time. A little bit of a miss hit from Randolph. They had a freebie, but it is not gonna be taken, as that one is gonna be blocked and sent out of bounds. And Randolph going to retake the lead. As Mello is going to go to the line and send it over to Lynchburg. A really nice serve by Mello, number 12, the first year. And I know I'm gonna mess this up, but it's Tamarack, Florida, as a timeout is called by Coach Ryan Turner, as we're gonna step away. Randolph Wildcats up 22-20 here in set number 2. It's crunch time. I love that saying, but it's crunch time here on LHSN.
Think a private education is too expensive? Think again. At the University of Lynchburg, you can get a personalized education for the cost of a state school. If you're commuting and you get our top scholarships, you could pay much less. And you get all that without the hassle of giant lecture halls. Our faculty know your name here and do more than just teach. You might even do research together and plan out your next career moves.
Ozzy Osbourne playing loud in Turner Gymnasium, trying to get these fans back into it. As it is a close set 2. Mello gonna send this one over, a really nice serve. Nice top spin there as Redding gonna poke this one over, a really nice job to keep that one alive. Samuel Looney and a poke into the back corner. Nobody home for the Hornets. 23-20, the Wildcats getting closer and closer to tying it up in sets. 3-point lead. Mello still at the service line, sends it over, a nice steaming serve. We're gonna call Randolph point. Over the net is a Hornet, and it is now set point, just like that. We went from timeout to set point for the Wildcats. Perfect way coming out of a timeout if you are Randolph. As Mello keeps serving fantastically as that one tried to get a kick save and a beauty, but too many touches under the net. As we get a replay here, you can see tried kicking it around. That is legal in volleyball. But too many touches is illegal, and it will be point Lynchburg. As that one gonna find the front of the Hornets line, and it will be point Randolph and set point Randolph. 25-21, Randolph on top. There you go, you see it right there, finding open space, and that is what it is all about. As Randolph ties it in sets 1-1, we've got ourselves a battle of the Hill City right here on LHSN.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
Football has taught me a lot throughout my life. It's definitely had a huge imprint on who I am as a person. Competing at a Division III level created that opportunity for me to go to college. Not only was I the first one in my family to graduate college, but I was really the first one to even go. Being the first one, I'm breaking that cycle, and now that I've graduated, I'm not sure what's the next step, but I know I have a lot of doors open. And a lot of those are open because I played football and ran track here at Otterbein.
Living the dream. USA, Mexico. That was so exciting.
Lynchburg is all about you, your ideas, and your goals. We've got one professor for every 10 students, so you can get all the support you need. In the classroom, in the lab, or in nature, you'll learn by putting yourself out there, and we're right there with you.
Look what you're missing.
It really don't matter to me. I'm just happy to be here. I might go crazy.
Welcome back to LHSN. Randolph Wildcats taking a very close set 2. Tying it up 1-1 in sets. Led by Mello Smith and Bainchess, both having 7 kills on the night, both also having 11 attempts. Did a fantastic job in that set 2, and set 3 is now starting. No sweep tonight for the Hornets. Code Red energy has to stay the same. That one hits the rafters, and that has been the bane of the Hornets so far, as Ed Roof really doing a number on this Hornets defense, as even more people are piling in. Randolph does get the start for set 3 as they go up 2-0 now. Clapping, keeping the energy up, doing a fantastic job in this cross-town rivalry, the Battle of Hill City. It doesn't get any better than this. And an error from the Wildcats. Connor Marr not going to be able to get that one over the net. Maybe, just maybe, is what Lynchburg needs to get over that hump and go on a run and get a lead change and keep that lead change. A really nice job from Berardo, the libero, the defensive specialist. And it is not enough, as Dante Reed going to be the man that gives Randolph a 2-point lead. I'm going to replay here. Got a couple hits from that Hornet side, but eventually comes onto the near side of the stands. As Kapitanov with an attempt gets blocked by the Wildcats. That one hits a fan in the rafters and just going to be sent over that net. And a fantastic job by Redding. Boy, that was millimeters from touching that net. A great job by the Wildcats to keep that one alive. But an even better job by none other than our player to watch, Nick Redding, number 18, the freshman. And we'll say it again, he's from San Diego, California, because who doesn't love a San Diego, California native? From when you're coming from Lynchburg, somebody on the complete other side of the United States, it's definitely an interesting one. It's almost as interesting as coming onto the other side of the pond. As Costello sends this one over, Lynchburg ties it up at 3, and that one tried to poke it over into no man's land, but can't get it over the net as the Hornets get a lead change, and it's going to be 4-3 in favor of Lynchburg. Set number 3 tied at 1. Like I said earlier, no sweep will happen tonight. Lynchburg in the last 4 games, well, 3 games, including tonight, we're on a 10-0 run on set victories. And that 10-0 run was snapped by the Wildcats. Wildcats on a 2-game skid, looking to come back. And a nice job from Mello. As they're gonna say Randolph point. As some complaints from the Hornets, but some screaming from the Wildcats. As let's see what happened here. Nice job from Mello going over the net, keeping that one on Lynchburg side of Coach Ryan Turner. Gonna have a word with the referee, getting a little bit of an explanation as Randolph sends that one a little far. Serving error by Dante Reed as he will head towards the bench for number 7, Zachary Elbert, another defensive specialist on this Wildcat roster. One of 3 that we have written down between Zachary Elbert, Ethan Johnson, and Samuel Looney. And Randolph is right back at it. So Mello gonna head to, it's hard to not say free throw line, because you know, when you think of Mello, you think of basketball and Carmelo Anthony and LaMelo Ball, but he heads to the serving line. A really nice serve. He's done a fantastic job tonight as we're gonna get 3 or 4 bounces. Redding tries to go cross court. That one dug into the rafters. Lynchburg giving them a little bit of a taste of their own medicine there. Lynchburg getting caught out like that multiple times in that second set. You'll see Redding hit that cross court. And there's really nothing you can do about that. With the velocity that these balls are hit, as Costello tries to send that one over right in front of Berardo, but will not get it over the net, as Randolph going to continue to keep this lead. Still a 1-point game. These second and third sets, as Randolph gonna get that point. These second and third sets have just been completely different than the first set, as Lynchburg had utter domination. Some would say pandemonium in that first set, but it's been very tight so far in the second and third set, as you can hear the cheering from the fans, copying what the Randolph Wildcats are doing. And that's really what we're talking about at the beginning of this broadcast. I say we, that's what I was talking about at the beginning of this broadcast. The heckling and the jarring at the other team. You're not playing just the Hornets on the court. You're playing the Hornets everywhere. So we get a nice shot of the Randolph bench and the coach, Coach Leandro, first-year coach, alongside his assistant coaches Colton Fox and Alex Bosel. As Randolph continuing this momentum that they have in this third set. Lynchburg gonna have to find a way to nudge themselves past this deficit that they have. Maybe Nick Redding doing the job there. Nick Redding having a fantastic game. 12 kills so far, 13 kills. As that was number 13 right there. Does have 22 attempts. He's doing a great job. And Randolph can't recover from that serve. And Lynchburg will take their 9th point of this set. You can see it there. Both teams tied up at 1 in set count. Randolph leading this set 10-9. A really nice, powerful serve from Jackson. It's going to go out of bounds. A little too far. There have been some close calls in this one. I would agree with probably every single one of them so far. As Mason Kenna can't control that one. As we're going to see the bench there rowing the boat off that point. With some Olay chance. They send this one towards the Hornets. It'll be blocked and sent back towards Lynchburg. And another point. Randolph there inching closer and closer away from the Hornets. Saying nothing but nice things back to the fans, as we know that the fans are saying nice things right to them, as they're going to take another point. As it seems like the energy is all Randolph right now in this Code Red matchup. There's a serving error. Going to put Lynchburg into double digits in set number 3. 14-10 in favor of the Randolph Wildcats. Which we're going to send this over. Very nice job there from Varley to keep that one alive. It's going back to the end of the Wildcat side. We're going to say 4 hits for the Wildcats. Some questioning from Randolph and their coach, Jordan Leandro. Lynchburg going to take every point that they can get at this point. As Elijah Woods getting some help from the referee, giving her a fist bump. And that's what you love to see from the players. Sportsmanship is what the ODAC prides themselves on, I would like to say, being a Lynchburg baseball player in my past. As they're going to get that point towards Randolph. A lot of sportsmanship around the ODAC. It's a tough conference. One of the top conferences in the nation. Always ranked teams around the league in every single sport. Something that you love to see. And something that you can use while you're recruiting for a new program. Is you know you're going to face good competition, as the cross-court attempt by Bainchess will not make it over the net and give Lynchburg their 12th point. Still down by 3. We're going to get a replay here. Maybe would have found some open area if he got that over the net. It was a good attempt. As Mello finding himself another point. He's been doing a fantastic job tonight. 9 kills for Smith in 14 attempts. And Lynchburg giving it right back to him. Brings the deficit back down to 3 for the Hornets. You can see the sea of red there, a little bit into the corner. It's more red and gray, but the thought's there. It's a Code Red game. And they're here to have some fun, trying to support their team. Their team, the Hornets, down by 4 in set number 3. Seems like after set 1, everything flipped. Became a close matchup between both these teams. And finds the line. A smidge is all you need, and a smidge is all Reading had on that one. He'll head to the serving line. We're gonna get a replay here. It's a serving error from Reading. We'll give that point right back to the Wildcats, and that's really what Coach Ryan Turner has been harping on this week with the scouting report, is winning that serving battle is just so important. And there it is. Bryce Jackson, a powerful smash. Knew exactly where he wanted it. He got it and sent that one into the mail towards the Wildcats, trying to gain some momentum for this Hornet team. Mason Kenna will send that one over. It'll be a Hornet point as it is blocked. Elijah Woods tried to send that one over, just tried to poke it over. Hornets had other ideas. It's that front line, very athletic group of men on this volleyball team. A lot of talent, a lot of young talent from both squads. As Kenna, another serve, another great serve. And a stare down from Costello as the lead has been cut down to 1. Some momentum here for the Hornets. Kenna still at the line. Costello, as we take a look, giving a little stare down towards the Wildcats. We talked, it's Code Red, and not only does Code Red bring up the intensity, but it is the Hill City, the battle for Hill City, the crosstown rivalry, as we like to call it, as that one's sent too far by Kenna, and will award the Wildcats with point number 19. 2-point lead for the Randolph Wildcats. As Coach Ryan Turner having a conversation with the scorer's desk and the referee, as Ahmed Diallo going to send this one across. 19-17 in favor of Randolph. Nicely dug out by the Hornets. Hornets just going to have to give him a freebie. And Kenna says there are no freebies. Not in Wayne Prophet Court. As we take a look at it again, a couple hits. Only thing he can do is send that back over with a rough setup. But he'll make do and give Lynchburg their 18th point of set number 3, cut the lead down to 1, and send Bryce Jackson to the service line. Deficit to 1 for the Hornets. Jackson, a nice serve, hits the top of the rafters, comes down quickly. And that one gonna be sent too far to the left. Tried to catch that corner, looked like, but couldn't, and it is a tie game now. At 19, it is getting to that, my favorite time of every volleyball matchup. It's crunch time. As Kapitanov gonna send that one over towards the Wildcats side. It's gonna stay up there into that roof. As Kenna tried it again from the middle, tried to send it over with some authority. And finds too much of the net. And Randolph first to that 20 mark. And it's gonna be another point, Randolph Wildcats extending their lead again to 2. It is 21-19 in favor of Randolph. You can hear, you can see some of their fans on their side, on the other side of the court. And a mishit by Nick Redding. You don't see it too often as a timeout is called by Lynchburg. They are down by 3 on a code red night in set number 3. Both teams tied at 1. Gonna try and see if there's momentum for both sides here in set number 3 on LHSN. Pictures being taken on the sidelines. We see the women's volleyball with a mix of beach volleyball. It is beach volleyball season. Seems like we love volleyball here at the University of Lynchburg, and we do love volleyball season. It's always fun, especially with a new program. Is that one going to be blocked by Randolph, but a new program with the Hornets and the Wildcats. I've said it multiple times tonight, and I'll say it multiple times. Still, brand new programs, both in a dogfight. And the Wildcats extend their lead to 4. It's almost set point. It's 23-19 in favor of Randolph. As that one kept alive, a fantastic job from Elijah Woods. And a reset for the Hornets. And Jeremiah Costello, the freshman from Chesterfield. Fantastic job from him tonight. 6 kills so far in 3 sets. He's played all 3 sets too. He's doing a good job. Help keeping his team in check. As there he is again, throwing up his arms, flexing, doing everything you can to keep this momentum going for Lynchburg. You know you've got to score 4 straight. And that's, of course, if the Wildcats don't score. First to 25, win by 2. As Mello, number 12, Mello Smith, of first year. Not by surprise. We talked about it earlier. 2 upperclassmen, a senior and a grad student. The rest first years, and that's good for a program. You love the talent that we're seeing tonight. It's really nice to know that your first years are gaining all the experience. And what makes it even better is that you do have senior Ethan Meyer and grad student Matt Bainchess to be able to help them in that experience. And that's the same thing with this Lynchburg side. You've got a couple upperclassmen in Mason Kenna. As that set is going to go towards the Randolph Wildcats as they are up 2-1. End of set 3, 25-22. Lynchburg Hornets going to have to try everything they can to take this into 5 sets. Lynchburg down 2-1 here on LHSN.
I learned a lot of valuable lessons playing college football. I never thought about the health benefits of exercise until I actually started to talk to coaches in college. It's not only just for performance, it's for life. My coaches instilled the importance of well-being, not only building up strength, mental health, getting enough sleep, eating properly is all what it is to be healthy. I decided that I want to go into personal trainer and share my knowledge that I obtained in college about physical and mental well-being.
Today's a rough day. Jess and I are officially on a break. The couple canoe has broken up.
It's not.
How you feeling?
Living the dream.
Just canoeing. That's the Mexican side behind me. The U.S. is that way.
So far, we're all still alive.
I really want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Woo! We did it! Kind of.
Set number 4 yet to commence as we take a look at the ODAC standings, led by Randolph-Macon, always a powerhouse in every single sport. Don't tell my brother I said that. Followed up by Roanoke, Eastern Mennonite University, Virginia Wesleyan, and then of course your very own Randolph and Lynchburg fighting for that 5th place. Both not looking too hot in the conference record. About even, about middle of the pack in overall record. And then Averett coming into the rear. We saw them earlier when they came into town. Got swept by Lynchburg. Lynchburg looking to find any single bit of momentum in the crosstown rivalry matchup between the Randolph Wildcats, as set 4 is about to start. As we see, really, that whole entire third set was very similar to set number 2. It was a close matchup the entire way. Randolph Wildcats winning both set 2 and set 3, led by Mello Smith with 11 kills in just 18 attempts. Mello also has 7 digs, as Randolph continuing where they left off, getting point number 1 of the set from Elijah Woods. I've called his name out a bunch. They've done a fantastic job. 6 kills, 5 digs with 1 block. There's a lot of talent on both of these rosters, and matchups like this, they're so important because not only is it Code Red and it's one of the most important matches of the season for this Lynchburg side, but it's the biggest rivalry for both of these schools. As again, Randolph hailing just a couple minutes away from the University of Lynchburg. It's about a 5 to 10 minute drive cross-town. Say that a lot, cross-town rivals. But getting the experience in big matchups like this for all of your youngsters, all of your first years and your sophomores. Of course, you don't have any sophomores on the Randolph side, but you got a couple on this Hornet side. You got Stefan Kapitanov and Bryce Jackson, 2 starters tonight. 2 very, very well-rounded players as play will continue on, tied up at 1. As Costello sends that one over. And going to be blocked by Lynchburg. Lynchburg starting set number 4, they're going to try and keep this lead. That's really what was so big about Randolph in set 3, is that no matter how much Lynchburg fought, Randolph kept that lead. They very rarely let lead changes happen. And it was an athletic play from Miller Varley jumping over his teammate, but they're going to call it Randolph point. Ryan Turner protesting this decision with the side referee closest to the scorer's table. Play will continue on. Dante Reed gonna send this one over. As you saw right there, Coach Ryan Turner, as that serving ace will go in favor of the Wildcats. Reed, another first year. I say another first year. There's only first years on this squad except for the senior and grad student. For the first year from Rock Hill, South Carolina. Another long drive. As Kapitanov, a little bit of a stare down of his own. Saying again, only nice things about this other team. The brotherly love of the Hill City. I'm sure. I never got the pleasure of playing Randolph baseball, as they do not have a baseball program, but I can only imagine how hyped up that rivalry would be and how important those wins would be, as this Hill City crosstown rivalry is so huge for every single sport. As that one gonna be blocked and gonna head out of bounds by Nick Redding. I mean, he has done so fantastic tonight. 17 kills from Nick Redding, our player watch, the reigning defensive player of the week. Did a fantastic job in the last three matchups that Lynchburg faced off with against Regent, Gallaudet, and Newman. Again, winning all three of those matchups, 3-0. Now facing off against the Wildcats. Lynchburg, after tonight, don't have a game for another week. They will head to Danville, Virginia to face off against the Averett Cougars March 5th, next Wednesday, as Randolph's going to get themselves a point, take the lead here in set number 4. 5-4, Randolph Wildcats have the favor. We'll see Mello Smith continue his dominance really all game, as that one sent way wide. A little bit of a commentator's curse. I'll apologize now, but I'll probably apologize to him later. He's been a fantastic display of athleticism tonight. 12 kills, 8 digs, and 2 blocks. He's been absolutely amazing. Everything that this Wildcats roster needs. The energy is there for both teams. But Mello Smith, first year from Florida, long drives I'm seeing on this roster. There are a lot of long drives. We've got Texas, Arizona, South Carolina, a couple from Minnesota, Florida, Colorado. That's one that I haven't seen yet. But wow, what a fantastic job from Elbert to keep that one alive. Lynchburg gonna just send it right back to Elbert. As we get a replay here, the power. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I might have gotten that backwards, but that's okay. You get the point. It's a tie game in set number 4, 6-6. It's been nothing but close matchups after set number 1. And there's been nothing but energy in this gym. And it's not only Lynchburg on this Code Red night. There are lots of Randolph fans, students. I'm sure there's some athletes over there. But you're getting the same treatment. And that's the beauty of this rivalry. Mason Kenna gonna send this one towards the Wildcats. And that one gonna go too far. Another serving error for the Hornets. The Wildcats retake that lead. Diallo gonna be the one to send it towards the Hornets. Nice little soft serve. And Costello sent that one over. Really nice job from the Wildcats to keep that alive. The initial hit sent over will fall too far away from the line. It's another tie game as we get a replay of that. You can't quite catch that corner, but I promise you it was out. I wouldn't lie to you. Oh, man. And a nice attempt from Varley. Seemed like the right idea. And there's that diversity, or that dynamic that these players have where they can try multiple different shots. It's not all about the power and how hard you can hit it. There's so much to do with men's volleyball. Placement is everything. And a serving ace for the Wildcats. Connor Marr. That'll be his third ace of the night. Has been doing a good job. Varley did a great job keeping that alive. Wildcats send it past the net. And will go in favor of them. They keep a 3-point lead right now, 10-7. Ball goes into the rafters, sent right back to Costello to put it over. A really nice job there from the Wildcats. It's been pretty dominant the last couple points for the Wildcats. 11-7 in favor of Randolph. Lynchburg got to find a way to come back in this one. Maybe a little bit of a spark from Redding. They've been going to him all night. His 18th kill. And I'm going to say it again. Reigning Defensive Player of the Week. The first in program history. Certainly not the last. We hope there's more to come. As a powerful smash from Bainchess. It's going from player to watch to player to watch, from Redding to Bainchess. Gonna be blocked, kept alive, but not for much longer. Point Randolph. The lead is now up to 5 for the Wildcats. Randolph up 2-1 in sets. A complete flip of the script from set 1 to every single set. Although this one not as close as set 2 and 3. That one's going to hit off of a Lynchburg player. Certainly would have gone out if it didn't hit Bryce Jackson. But a timeout will be called for Coach Ryan Turner and the Hornets, as we are going to step away here on LHSN.
My name is Alexis Fabula. I major in criminology and I double minor in psychology and criminal forensics. My favorite part about Lynchburg is the friends that I've come to have. It's helped me come out of my shell more, and it's helped me become the person I am and the student I am. I really enjoyed how small the campus was, and I also really enjoy how small the class sizes are. It made me feel like I was going to be more engaged than I would at a bigger campus. If someone was on the fence of coming to the University of Lynchburg, I would definitely love to sit down and have a conversation with them, because I'm forever grateful that I made this choice. It's definitely something that a student wouldn't regret. Out of my 4 years here, I've not had one bad experience. I've had a great 4 years, and I'm going to be very sad to go.
Set number 4 here on Wayne Prophet Court in Turner Gymnasium in the University of Lynchburg campus. Randolph up 2-1 in set count, and they're up 14-8 in this set. Nice, powerful hit there from none other than Nick Redding. Number 18, the first year, doing a fantastic job. That will be kill number 19. Not only is that kill number 19, he's extending the most kills he's ever had in a matchup. The most before was 14 against Wilson in the second match of the year for this program. That resulted in a 3-0 victory in favor of the Hornets. But Nick Redding doing it all today, 19 kills. Randolph serving error, lead cut down to 5. And these are the moments that Lynchburg's gonna have to take advantage of. As we see number 1, Sam Pennington, step up to the plate. If you like a baseball reference, I got plenty of them. He steps up from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. He's gonna send this one over to the Wildcats. Randolph, powerful hit. Lynchburg can't keep that one alive. And those are the minor mistakes that we've noticed throughout the season that they're guaranteed to happen with such a young team. And a team that is still figuring out how they can gel together, mesh together, ways that they can figure out what they need to do to get that edge over the other teams in a powerful conference. Is Redding gonna send this one over, 16-11 Randolph. Poked over by Diallo. The block, that one, frustration. Diallo hits the pole. It looks like he's all right, and that's good news. You can sense a little bit of frustration as we see that one most likely would have gone out on the far end, but it's that split-second reaction time that it's tough to, it's sometimes tough to think of the best option. As Mello Smith again showing his dominance with kill number 14. And some choice words from the Randolph bench, again, saying only nice things. As Redding sends this one over to the Wildcats. Rally gonna stay alive, hits the net, and gonna be point Randolph. I'm gonna say 4 hits. Redding trying to protest that there was a touch by a Wildcat. Tough to change the mind as we see that replay there. Ryan Turner, Coach Ryan Turner and Thomas Chandler trying to figure out what is the next possibility for this Hornet offense and defense. As Miller Varley done a great job tonight. He's got 4 kills now, alongside 5 digs and a serving ace. Kenna gonna send that one into the net. Story of the night lately, a lot of serving errors. As that will be number 17 of the night, compared to the Wildcats' 12. Got to keep those to a minimum as Costello. Nice job there from our camera crew, keeping their eyes on the ball. Another baseball reference, if you will. I will. We're going to see Bryce Jackson at the serving line. Send that one over with some authority. Mello, he's done it all night. Kept alive. Gonna be sent over by Jackson. A reset, And an even better job from Dante Reed. And Randolph extends their lead to 6 points. As Connor Marr gonna send this one. That one gonna touch the rafters, gonna come down quickly. Lynchburg not gonna have any time to think as that one is tipped and sent out of bounds. Another point, Randolph, as they inch closer to victory, 21-14 in set number 4. You got to imagine possible timeout being called soon. As that one blocked and sent out of bounds. A little bit of momentum maybe for Lynchburg. We're gonna see. From both sides of the court, from the fans, of course. As that one is just going to be watched by both teams. A little bit of a slow point there. Those are interesting ones. Point Lynchburg. Lynchburg down 5. That one sent into the rafters and will head towards the Lynchburg side, but out of bounds. Another Hornet point. They inch closer to that Wildcat lead. They've cut it down to 4. As Varley gonna send this one towards the Wildcats. And Costello. He's been doing it all night too. Costello, his 12th kill of the matchup. Energy still there for Randolph. You can hear them cheering their team on as that one is blocked and is very close to staying in. Some fans getting out of their seats to see where that one was going to land. It'll be point Randolph. 4-point deficit for the Hornets still. Redding gonna send this one. He also has been doing it all night, and that is kill number 20. Not only does he have his career high, but he's been extending it. He's been extending it like it's easy for him. We have a towel to wipe down some liquids on the court, most likely sweat. Don't want anybody slipping on the court, hurting themselves. Would not look good. See Costello at the line, also working on a career high. He's at 12, which is tied for the most he's ever had in a matchup, and that one was against Averett. That point gonna go Randolph's way. They are 2 points shy of set number 4. It is 23-19. You can see some of the energy dwindling on the Lynchburg side of the court. Some nice communication there from Costello. As that serving error will go past the line. We're gonna see number 16. I'm gonna botch this name. I know it's gonna happen, but number 16, Jordan Philemau. I apologize for that. I'll have to learn that one. That was a powerful serve. I don't think anybody was expecting that coming off the bench. Redding, nothing he can do there but send it towards the Wildcat side, and that one gonna go towards the Lynchburg bench and make contact with Coach Thomas Chandler. Hornets getting closer and closer. The freshman from Bothell, Washington. Gonna go back to the serving line. A high serve, and that one's gonna hit the net. That will make it set point for Randolph. Remember, Randolph went down 1-0 in sets pretty convincingly by the Hornets. And now they are on the verge of winning the entire match and set number 4. 24-21. Let's see what Lynchburg can draw up, and that one gonna hit the net. Can't draw anything up. Costello can't get it over the net with that push. And Randolph gonna take set number 4, 25-21, and that will be a victory 3-1 over the Hornets. The crosstown rival battle goes to the way of the Wildcats. It was a fun matchup. I had a blast. Randolph, after tonight, will go up against the conference leaders, Randolph-Macon, in Ashland on March 1st, this Saturday. Can't believe it's March, everybody. Well, it's almost March, but I can't believe it's almost March. I feel like January lasted forever, and now we're almost into the 3rd month of the new year. Lynchburg, after tonight, is 7-8, 1-4 in the conference. They will go up against Averett on March 5th, next Wednesday, in Danville. And then that next weekend, they will play Roanoke here in Turner Gymnasium that Saturday on March 8th. Well, we had a fun one. Finished in 4 sets in favor of the Wildcats, 25-21 in that 4th set. We would like to thank everybody on this crew. Thank you to Josh Smith, our fantastic director and replay man. Not sure what the word for that would be, but the replay guy, he's the man. Love Josh Smith, love everybody in this crew. And thank you so much for everybody for listening on this. It was a tight matchup, and it was a lot of fun to watch, and it was a lot of fun to announce for you guys. 3-1 in favor of Randolph. Thank you so much for watching here on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network.